لا ايه ما بيأثر، ما تعطى الهم. اصلا I'm recording this session. راح ابعتكم اياها لينك by the end لما نخلص. I will send it to you as a link حتى تقدروا تحضروها and حتى تقدروا تحضروها in high res. So when تطلع على it will be a private link على يوتيوب for you to actually go in and watch it and repeat it if you need to. اوكي. والشوت اليوم رح نشتغل على اليوم، رح اعملكم بس فرجيكم ال 3 دي مابينج اللي عملناه بالجامعه عندكم هالجمعه. كيف صار وكيف كيف قدمنا فيه وكيف ما حفرجيكم فاينل ريزلت. نكست ويك بفرجي الفاينل ريزلت اللي بنكون عملنا مونتاج للميكينج اوف فرجيكم اياه. اليوم رح فرجيكم بس كيف اشتغلنا، كيف كان البروسيس وكيف احنا ركبناهم هونيك. هيدا اول بارت تبع اليوم. سكند بارت تبع اليوم رح يكون الشوت، رح فرجيكم اياها هون، يلي هي this shot عم تشوفوها قدامكم. It's from a film اشتغل عليه visual effect لباسم كريستو. وفيه كان فيه كتير visual effects. و this is the shot اللي رح بكون بعت لكم اياها باي ميل اليوم. and انا رح اشتغلها معكم هلا، رح تشوفوها معي كيف عم نشغلها. بس انتم عليكم تكون عندكم افتر افكت من هلا لنكست تايم وتجربوا تعملوا اللي عملناه. اذا في قصص ما انتبهتوا لها بترجعوا لهيدا الفيديو اللي عم بيعمل ريكوردينج اكيد حتى تشوفوا شو القصص اللي انتم عايزينها تقدروا تاخذوها وتقدروا تعملوها منه. I would need from you all the questions today. نحن ماشيين يعني اللي عنده سؤال بليز يفتح ويسأل لأنه قد إيه في بعدكم الفيديو نخلص. This session needs to be interactive. We need دير أنا كون عم بحكي معكم شو بيقولوا نقدر to share thoughts and to share how everything is working. This is a moving shot. This is a shot that is moving all the way. So this is something that if you wanted to do by hand it would be impossible. إذا بدكم تعملوها ببريمير it would be impossible. This is a visual effect shot. وإذا بتنتبهوا بالشوت كمان فيها هعملها بوز. اوكي إذا بتنتبهوا هون في ضارب الأخضر على وجهه، بدنا نشوف شو هو الإيفكت كيف نقدر نلغيه حتى ما يطلع لنا الجرين سكرين. رح نحكي كمان على شو السبب اللي ممكن ما نحط الجرافيكس تبعنا على شاشة ونصور. ليه عادة 99% من الأوقات we put a green screen مع trackers. هدول هن trackers، هدول هن اللي بيعطونا الانفورميشن تبع الكاميرا. شو السبب اللي بنعمل هيدا الموضوع instead of actually putting the final video on screen. Okay? Alright. يلا راح نبلش بهيدا اللي كنت عم بحكي عنه، كيف نحن بلشنا شغل هيدا ما بدي اياها بقى. How we did the shot. نشوف كنت حاططها اوكي. نحن الكونسبت اول شيء كلكم عارفين شو صار عندكم بالجامعه لاست تايم بالمابينج ذيس كابل اوف دايز، يعني سبت واحد ولا لا؟ عرفتوا فيها؟
كان في شيء عم يتصور بالجامعه، قالوا انه عم يعملوا شيء 3D.
مزبوط، هيدا هو كان. هيدي الكنيسه تبع الجامعه اذا بتعرفوها طبعا. هي كنيسة ما هيك؟ انتوا بتعرفوا جامعتكم اكتر.
هي مثل كنيسه من جوا كان.
On top of this. okay. So this is actually كيف شكلها الكنيسة من جوا، كيف كان مفروض تطلع eventually الكنيسة. So المابينج انعمل بهيدي الطريقة. رح فرجيكم اياهم وحدة وحدة اكيد. هيك this is هيدا من السوفت وير من عنا. كان طالع الاوتبوت. اوكي بس بدي افرجيكم انا بس شو البروسيس تنوصل للفاينل صورة اللي نحن بنكون عليها، اللي نحن بنوصلها بالجامعة. تفضل.
المابينج والموديلنج اي ابس بتعملوهم سينما 4 دي وقصص؟
مزبوط، هيدا السوفت وير هون اللي هلا كنت فتح لك اياه. This is سينما 4 دي، هذا سينما 4 دي. اوكي. الموديلنج نحن بينعمل على مايا او 3 دي ماكس. These are the 3 دي softwares اللي بينعمل عليها 3 دي موديلنج. 3 دي موديلنج لما اقول هيك يعني any visual effect ممكن تعوزه 99% كمان is مايا or ماكس. هلا ليش بيستعمل سينما 4 دي؟ سينما 4 دي is for more live action. رندر تبعه سريع واسرع من مايا وماكس. حدا سمع بمايا وماكس؟ These are two softwares.
ونيوك استعملوه؟
Nuke بنستعمل After Effects. The After Effects and Nuke are very similar in terms of شو بيعملوا. بس الفرق Nuke هو it's a standalone software. After Effects بيجي built in معه في عندك Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere. So you can do the edit on Premiere, go back to After Effects, finish the visual effect, go forward to Premiere and continue your edit. You don't need to render and output each shot. Although, if you want to do it in Nuke instead of After Effects, this is a render that you need to do. You need to output your files and then go back into Nuke and work on them there. إذا عم تشتغل عليهم على نيوك، سو كيف أنت when you're outputting every time you render بتعمل output الفيديو every time بيكون عندك loss of information. سو الريزولوشن بتتاثر كل مره. سو imagine اذا انت عم تطلع من بريمير، لان انت عم بتمنتج بريمير، عم بتروح على نيوك اوريدي اخترت 1 جنريشن، ولما تصل على نيوك وتخلص الفيجوال افكتس تبعك تعمل لهم رندر كمان خسرت 1 جنريشن. عم تفهموا علي؟ ولا اذا في شي كلمات عم بقولهم بليز ليت مي نو. لا عم بحكي in terms of rendering outputting وهدول القصص.
يس كله فهمان عليك.
كله ما اوكي. So the second time the nuke output from nuke راح نرجع على Premiere, we're gonna have the same problem. We're gonna lose one more generation. So the pixels will be affected. إذا أنا صورة وجه عيون الشاربنس تبع العيون رح نخسرها شوي when we go back and forth in software. This is why normally إذا editing معمول على Premiere we stay into Adobe, or ساعتها إذا عم بينعمل على Avid or Final Cut, then yes, why not, you can go to Duke.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome. Alright, so نعمل الموديل. احنا اخذنا قياساتنا نحن اكيد من شي شهر تقريبا. احنا اخذنا قياسات تبع الانفايرمنت اللي هو الكنيسة اللي هي صوره عنا اياهم هون. اوكي، اللي هي هيدي الانفايرمنت. اخذنا القياسات تبعه واخذنا كل شيء، سمناها اكزاكتلي على البكسل شو مفروض يكون عنا، يعني اكزاكتلي على السنتيمتر تنقدر نعمل لها موديل. نعمل موديل بسوفت وير اسمه 3 دي ماكس. هيدا عملناه على 3 دي ماكس. لما خلص الموديل طلعناه على سينما 4 دي. بسينما 4 دي هو الريزن اللي فتنا على سينما 4 دي لانه البروجكشن تبعه احلى and the output of texture is better. راح فرجيكم كيف يعني. so هيدا هو الموديل. نحن هون عاملين بروجكشن على الموديل. اوكي، همشي عليه. مجرد انا زدت التكستشر وعملت لها بروجكشن بالكاميرا تبعي بتكب عليه للموديل. although هو 3 دي موديل، مع انه هو 3 دي موديل. رح اجيكم اياه هون. هو مبروم. اتس نوت وين مبين معنا. يا حوا. اوكي، although هو 3 دي موديل مع كل الالمنت بقلبه، وانا كب الصوره من الكاميرا تبعي from the viewport of the camera اللي نحن عنا اياها. رح يجي لعندي انا الانفايرمنت تبعي رح يطلع يعني رح تطلع الصوره تبعي جالسه بس on one point of view of the camera. اوكي، ليش حطينا الكاميرا بهيدي البوزيشن اللي هي قبل شوي؟ لانه on this point of view تقريبا exactly اللي هي هون لورا شوي. فرجيكم اياها. بوينت اوف فيو اللي حطيتها هون لانه اوريدي انا والدايركت اللي موجود تحت اللي هو انتم اكيد بتعرفوه اللي هو ميلاد ميلته we agreed انه نحط الكاميرا تحت على الارض تحت الدرابزين. so we took the distance من الدرابزين للحيط وركبت انا كاميرتي exactly انا بذات النقطة حتى تكون البرسبكتيف، لأن إذا بتشوف إذا البرسبكتيف إذا رحنا البرسبكتيف ببطل مضبوطة بصير هو distorted. the only time بتكون البرسبكتيف 100% مضبوطة هي from the point of view of our camera here. okay this camera يلي طالعة من هون. so this perspective هي يلي بتعطينا the right view يلي هي عم نصور منها نحن كنا. في حدا كان عم بيسألني شيء؟ thank you. انا مش فتح قدامي. okay he's in. Do you understand the viewpoint, my point of view بهيدي الناحية؟
Yes.
clear. so once we do the mapping هون كبينا كل الانفورميشن عنا على الشاشة اللي هي على الحيط actually. what we do is we go and we output our baking, our texture. we tell the software extract every part you have onto one single frame. so this is we call unwrap for the texture. we unwrap the texture and we take it as one frame. so رح فرجيكم الفرق كيف بيصير على this is how the video should look at the end. this is the output from Cinema 4D. okay and this is our texture. so this نحن لازم ناخد كل قطعة من هدول ونركبها محلها. كل شقفة من هدول هي جاية بمحل معين على الكيرفز على الانسايد كل محل. so بدنا ناخد كل بوينت كل شغلة موجودة عنا هون ونحطها على محلها on location طيطلع معنا at the end something like this اللي هي كل فايل راكب بمحله and every part عنده this is a very long process. it took us 2 days to make this to be able to actually put every single point on spot. تقدر نحط كل وحدة من الالمنت بمحلها and افرجيكم ال 360 فيو اللي سويناها هونيك. اوكي سو هون كنا بعدنا عم نركب. سو رح فرجيكم بس قد ايه صعب، بس رح فرجيكم هيدا البارت قد ايه صعب نركب كل شقفه بيناتهم. بلاي I'll play it. هيدا this is software for this camera. This camera is a 360 camera. يعني 360 camera يعني عندها lens قدام ولنس ورا. Okay? So this camera actually takes 360 video that we can actually بعدين نتفرج من حيالله محل. حطيناها بنص ال environment and so we can inside this software. This software is for the camera. It's not a software for visual effects. It's a software for the camera. So this is called Insta360. So actually we can move around anywhere in the whole environment and look anywhere. هذا كان سؤال. اسمه Insta360 Studio. اوكي سو اذا بتفرج كيف عم نحط كل شقفه بشقفتها، حتى the projectors كل وحده منهم بدنا نحطها تنركبها محلها. so every point has to be pushed. عم بتشوفوا الشيء شو عم بيصير هون؟ عم فيكم تشوفوا الكولر ديفرنس هون؟ كيف حدا عم بيحرك فيها؟ شايفينها؟ هيك هالبارت عم ببين عندكم؟ بس حدا يجاوبني. This is an excruciating job to actually put everything together, to remodel everything. نرجع نحط كل textures in their location to end up with one picture, a final picture اللي هي the final output of the mapping. انا ما حفوت بالديتيلز تبعكم، انا كل مره رح خبركم على a new technology kind of thing, something related to this field, a new thing. مثل ما الماضي حكينا عن اللايف فيديوز بس. This time we'll do the 3D mapping concept, how we actually make sure that the video رح يطلع flat ومظبوط on a very curved geometric environment. كيف نحط فيديو ليطلع مظبوط، قد ايه بياخذ وقت وكيف هو and what is the process to do so. And then we'll go into the shot اللي حكينا عنها. So we'll divide every session into two parts. Part 1 يلي هو the new technology concept، يلي هي حطلب منكم research on one of the technologies, full research تعملوا لي اياها of how each technology and where is it supposed to be used and what are the technicalities behind it. So each one of you will choose one that he will do مثل full research of materials and everything related to that technology. And we'll do a second part اللي هو direct VFX, tracking, visual effects, how to add stuff inside a screen مثل الشوت اللي فجأتكم اياها بأول الصف. في حدا بعت لي؟ لا اوكي. You understood? Okay, so this is how we do it. Each element alone is done لحديد ما نعبي كل هيدا الانفايرمنت. لما يتعبى كل سوري.
اوكي، عندي question. هدول ال 1 2 3 4 اللي عم نشوفهم على اللوب،
يس.
هن they are generated على 3D map.
نحن نكتبهم، نحن نرسمهم.
مش هن automatically they get generated.
سوري. اوكي. بليز عيد لي سؤالك تجاوب عليه صح.
يعني عم بسأل هدول السكشنز اللي محطوطين على
numbering.
هن they get generated لحالهم automatically.
Absolutely not. No. We add them one after the other. نحن بنزيدهم على texture. Yeah. Sorry. Yes. أنا بحطهم حتى أنا بقرر شو هو البارت وشو هن البارت اللي عم نعملون وكيف عم نحطها. يعني أنا بقرر إنه هيدي على الشمال، هيدي الشقفة اسمها نمبر 1، واللمعة اللي هي جاية بين بارت 1 وبارت 2، بين this part مثلا و this part حط شي محل مبينين. اوكي، this arrow بعرف انه انا هيدي الشقفة رح لونها لونها زهر وحط عليها فلاش لونها زرقاء حتى اعرف الروتيشن تبعها. هيدي الشقفة اللي جوانية بالموديل لونها بيضاء وعليها ازرق. انا بقرر كل وحدة بيناتهم، برجع برقم كل شقفة بشقفتها، ال 1 2 7 ال 6 ال 8 ال 4، كل وحدة منهم لأوصل لفوق. every single one اللي هن عم بحكي عنهم اكيد اللي عم بحكي عنهم هن هيدول. انا بركب هيدول حتى بالاخر يطلع عندي this visual يلي انا هيدا هو ذاته برجع باخد كل شقفة منها بركبها بحلها، بس انا I put the numbering and I put everything inside. اكيد each one separately. 100% سؤالك صح. In this project, every project is different. ولا مرة one projector is enough to fill an area. For this example, for this project, we use 4 projectors. أفرجيكم كيف مقسمين. على هي. اوكي، كان عنا projector 1 ضارب هيدي الشقفة، عم فيكم تشوفوها؟ مبينة تقريبا، هون ما كان خالص الشغل بعد. projector 2 هو ضارب هيدي الشقفة كلها. اوكي، projector 3 هو ضارب هيدي الشقفة. كلير؟ وبروجيكتور 4 كان ضارب هيدي الشقفة. نحن بنجي وبنعمل ستيتشنج، إذا بتلاحظوا في فرق بين قوة البروجيكتور تحت وقوة البروجيكتور فوق. The reason for that is لأنه نحن هلا وضعنا بلبنان مش كتير قوي، كل البروجيكتورز اللي قوية لأنه هدول بنستعملهم هن either كريستي or باركو. كريستي projectors and باركو projectors. اوكي. كريستي ار اثنيناتهم كتير قوية اكيد، بس بيفرقوا على بعضهم هو اللومن. كل واحد كم لومن. يعني نحن هلا المستعملين التحتانيات اثنيناتهم هن 20,000، نحن كان بدنا الأربعة يكونوا 20,000 كل واحد. اللي يعني تعطيكم بس ان ايديا، انتم لما واحد يركب منكم بروجيكتور بالبيت دكتور بيكون 1000 لومنز اللي بتحضروا عليه جود بروجيكتور، عم تحضر عليه فيديو طافي الأوضة بالبيت. This is 1000 lumens. This is 20,000 lumens. حاطين نحن أربعة، يعني على هيدي الشاشة عنا لازم كان يكون عنا تقريبا 40 80 ألف لومن. وهدول 80,000 ما كان عنا إياهم لأنه اضطروا يعطونا بس 15 لفوق و20,000 لتحت. وفيكم تلاحظوا القوة صح according to the lighting اللي موجود قدامك. دايما the more power the better. اوكي always the more power the better. بس انت تنعمل المينيموم it takes practice. يعني eventually اذا واحد منكم فات بهيدا الدومين رح يصير يقدر يفهم انه هيدا الحيط رح اعطيه 40,000، هيدا الحيط بعطيه 10,000، وهيدا الحيط بعطيه 30,000. This takes a lot of practice. I'm not go into how you calculate this part because this is a bit too advanced and there's a long calculation of كيف تحسب اللينس وحسب اللينس اللي مركبها انت على البروجيكتور، وكيف نقدر ناخد قد ايه رح يعطينا ضوء ونأكد انه البروجيكتورز مش حيكلونا. So it's a calculation of light. I'm not gonna go into that. This is not my area. This is an area of someone into lighting حتى يقدر يحسب لكم اللايتنج جواتها. ما بدي فوت بهيدا الشيء، بدي ضل على الفيجوال افكت بارت انا. Alright. So this is how it goes. At the end وين كنا وصلنا؟ Okay. So من بعد هيدي نحن ناخذهم ونفوتهم على After Effect. Okay. So if we need to change the colors, we need to alter something inside, we can do that inside After Effect. Okay. And we put the model inside of here to see if the final image رح تطلع مظبوطة. أفرجيكم بس هون شيء. So anything we put on that here بيبين معنا على الفاينل هون. So inside After Effect to show you what After Effect really can do. This is the 3D inside After Effect. The 3D was done حتى يعني imported. The model was imported into After Effect as a 3D. And everything was projected inside to make sure that once لما هدول كل الشغل انشغل شهر قبل ما نوصل على على السيت هونيك. So we did all the work, all the animations, everything beforehand, 1 month before. And then when we got to the location, we started putting everything together. بس احنا 1 month وقت نوصل we cannot risk having a problem or having something not working there. So what we did is we made sure we did a model inside After Effects, and every time we do a UV, we call this UV, which is the every time we put an element here with all the numbering اللي نحن فرجيتكم اياهم هونيك, we have a look at inside our model to see how they're looking. And here we can know if this will work on the final architectural site or not. Make sense? So you can see the image, how it should look at the end if we're putting a scenery, a landscape, and how the whole thing should look once we have everything in place. Questions?
The question. How do you install projection on set? Okay.
ما عم اسمعك منيح. عباس عم بيقطش شوي خطك. ما اسمع. يس.
استناني هلا.
ايه عم بسمعك تفضل.
كده بس ريكوردد عمل بروجكشن اون سيت او كله على ابس.
البروجيكتور موجودين اون سيت. هلا هلا اللي عم نشوفها قدامنا.
لا بس بالصورة قبل الفي ار الارقام والليبلينج والقصص.
هدول كلهم بالسوفت وير، هدول كلهم قبل ما نروح المسرح، قبل ما نروح على اللوكيشن. يلي هن اون لوكيشن هي هيدي.
هذا كان سؤال. اوكي.
A moving camera to do what? هيدا اللوكيشن شو قصدك؟ في moving camera بس you don't need, we don't يعني نحن for us we work on one point of view of the camera for this project. Normally this what you're saying is right and this is called augmented reality. This is not بس only 3D mapping because it could be ساعتها انت بتجي ما بتعملها mapping بتعملها شاشات كبيرة with high resolution and then you put them there, but this is a completely different budget and a different technology that we will go into during this course, one of the technologies. And to be able to move the camera and how the graphics will know that the camera is moving. This is your question?
Yes, got you. Thanks.
Yes. This is called augmented reality. This is augmented reality is put on a on the actual camera to track the environment اللي موجود فيه. It will send the information towards the original toward the virtual camera اللي موجود جوا السوفتوير. So whenever the camera moves inside the environment, whenever the camera moves inside the set, it will move as well in the graphics because that way the information inside the virtual is available on يعني the information is available in both virtual and the live camera. So you have two cameras: the virtual camera that is moving towards the graphics, and you have the virtual camera that is moving on set, the live camera that is moving on set. But we will talk about this more in details later on.
اوكي هلا سؤال بس بالنسبه لللومن نحن قديش بدنا نحدد لومن؟ هذا الشيء ما له علاقه بقديش نحن عندنا لايف ونيك السيت.
اكيد له علاقه، اكيد له علاقه 100%. one of the مشان هيك قلت لكم this is more related into lighting. depending على انواع الاضاءه اللي محطوطه وقد ايه قويه الاضاءه اللي محطوطه بدها تقرر قد ايه بدك تقوي البروجيكتور maybe له. And this was one of the problems that we had during this show. The projector that they got us were not as requested.
كثير شفت كثير كانت اللايتنج هونيك على السيت كثير يعني.
مزبوط. ونحن كنا طالبين اكشلي نحن الحقيقه اللي كنا طالبينها هي نحن 5 بروجيكتور 40,000. طلع لنا 4 بروجيكتور 22 و 2 15 which بتغير كل الكالكوليشنز and that was one of the problems that we had. Yeah. لهلا كنا عم نحكي، كنا عم نقول بالاول بلشنا على شو رح نعمل اليوم بالكورس بالضبط، يلي هي قلت انا انه رح نعمل ال 3 دي مابينج. رح احكي عن ال 3 دي يعني every time we'll divide the section into two. We'll divide the first part, we'll talk a new technology related to the field. This time we're talking about 3D mapping. لأنه ساعة بهيدا الويكند we did one in your university. And the second part will be يلي هلا رح بلش فيه يلي هي the shot, how to actually chroma key أول شيء introduction into After Effects, and then how we are and what's the reason why the shot was why the director shot the shot this way, why we do it this way, why we shoot chroma that way, how to composite, how to track. At least هبعث لكم شوت حتى for you to play with on your own and to see what you guys can do with it for next time. Yes. ما في كل مكان اعلى حتصير عندك مشكله بالرندر تبعك. So normally نحن بنشتغل على especially for big areas for each projector بنستعمل قد ايه هو بيعطينا projection، قد ايه هو بيعطينا resolution. رح نحكي لانه every project we cannot generalize anything، يعني ما في شيء منزل. مثل الاخراج، كل بروجكت رح تعمله رح يكون شكل، كل بروجكت رح تضووه بحياتكم رح يكون شكل، كل واحد في عنده his own problems، ولكن كل شيء بيكون اوتوميتد وما حدا بيعوز شيء، ما بيعوز حدا منكم ساعتها بيكون في حط مكنه تعملها. This is the reason why nobody can do your job ever. Your jobs can never be replaced, as it's a bit hard for a robot to do. ما بعرف إذا فهمت شو قصدي. So the idea is every project is different. The resolution for this project, for example, we had نحن كان supposedly we have four projectors. At the end it was supposed to be 4 projectors, each one is full HD. So what we do is we take the full HD for each projector and we multiply it by 4. So on top, full HD is 1920 by 1080 طبيعي. So multiplied by 4 يعني بنصير 4K لأنه نحن full area نحن عم نحكي يعني إذا بناخد 4 HD screens وبنحطهم حط بعضهم بيعملوا a 4K image. So نحن we based our output final output on a 4K image. Too technical ولا understandable? اوكي بس بليز سألني أكتر يعني I need your input. I need to understand يلي شو عم تعرفوا لأن أنا ما بعرفكم بعد شخصيا و I don't know your levels. So I need to see what you guys are شو بيقولوا what you guys are understanding and I'm trying to simplify as much as I can حتى نكون مرتاحين كلنا مع بعض بس if there is one thing you don't understand please ask me لأنه I need you to understand everything I'm saying حتى لو كانت شوي ثقيلة في ارجع عيدها I don't mind at all.
طيب بس شو بالآخر كان أرخص؟
قصدي إنه if you can please ask anything that you don't understand please ask me again and again and again because this might be a lot of information to process in 1 hour صراحة. So I'm not asking you to know how to do them. I'm just asking if everything is clear and if you have questions, if there's any part that is not clear of how to integrate the stuff together. ما في؟ كله هين؟ Alright, great. Perfect. After Effects for the first time. ليلي for the first time ليلي بيعرفوا he knows what kind of software it is ما هيك انا بتذكر مثل الماضي في عالم بيعرفوه في عالم ولا مرة داقين فيه. Okay, this is After Effects انا عندي 2 screens هيك بحطه هيك we can change the بس حط okay so this is كيف يفتح After Effects عندكم أول مرة. Alright. We can create okay it's, how it's divided how we have to think about After Effects. After Effects is based on layers and compositions. What's the difference between the two? A layer رح نعمل layer هون okay. First of all composition هي مثل a timeline للي بيعرف شوية بريمير okay. Composition هو base of a timeline right click new composition بس تنبلش. We call the composition هاي هي. We call the حنسميها 01 for now. And we'll make it here we have the different resolution اللي كنا عم نحكي عنهم. Okay? So we can yes.
هل هاي عم تعملها ريكورد انت فوت الجات فت؟
ما سمعت.
انت طلعت الجات فتت. هل عم تعمل ريكورد لهاي السيشن؟
كله عم بيعمل ريكورد. بعده من الاول لهلا عفت سحبه صارنا هلا 47 دقيقه ريكوردينج.
اوكي جريت.
alright okay so this is the composition. ايه بس انا بدي منكم هلا تركزوا على هذا الموضوع. انا رح يتصغر ما ححط لكم انا 3 ساعات او ساعتين ونص ل3 ساعات فيديو يعني ايه. اوكي so I need you to interact I need you to stay with me. مش كل شيء رح نحط يعني رح اقطش كتير قصص حتى for it to be concise and enough. Okay so we have there is different resolutions here. اللي كنا عم نحكي شو resolution تبع البروجيكتورز اللي كنا عم نحكي اللي هي Ultra HD 25 لنشوف الفرق 3840 ب 2160 اللي هي full 4K 3840 by 2160. Okay, this the half of it مش divided by 4 هي full HD 1920 by 1080 مع انه بنفكر نحن انه 1920 اذا نضربها باثنين بتصير 3840 اللي هي تايمز 2 لل 1920 بس اكشلي نحن هون عم نحكي عن سيرفيس سو كيف احنا عندنا طول وعرض. اوكي الاريا تبع متر مربع المترين مربع هي 4 مرات هيدا الاريا. You understand what I mean right? So 4 times this is 4K. Now, today we're gonna work on 1920 by 1080. Okay? We're gonna put the duration بلبنان وبالarea of Middle East and Europe. We use a 25 frame per second concept. Normally انتو for film إذا حدا عم بيعمل فيلم أو دعاية or something we go to 24 frame per second أكيد. And if we're working on NTSC we go to 30 or 29.97 frame per second. هدول clear ولا I need to go into them more deeply؟ عم بحكيكم هيك لأنه بعرف انتو ماسترز. Guys حدا ما سمعت حدا بليز مين فاتح روي؟ all clear هاينين اوكي very good. وهون عندي انا اكيد الديوريشن يلي هي قد ايه الديوريشن تبع الكومبوزيشن تبعي رح نحطها فور ناو وات ايفر رح نرجع نعدلها هلا دغري. الريزولوشن تبعي رح خليها فول اكيد رح افتحها. سو فتحت معي هلا ان اتش دي ريزولوشن ان اتش دي ريزولوشن بس اتاكد يس اوكي فتحت عنا ان اتش دي composition. Inside the composition we can create layers. Right click, new, solid. Okay? This is our first element اللي نحن عم نحطه جوات الكومبوزيشن تبعنا. باي ستاندرد بيجي على كبر الكومبوزيشن لانه انا من قلب الكومبوزيشن فتحته سو بيجي على قدها. شو يعني على قدها؟ انا I can change anything I want inside of it to be able to play with any video I need. So everything here is not, we cannot think of it as just a video يلي جاي full screen. Everything here is a layer that we can modify. In Premiere, انتو وقت تيجي تحط your shot inside, yes you can manipulate and move it around, but you cannot consider it a layer. It's considered as a video clip يلي محطوط على timeline that you are playing with. Here no, you have each one a layer. I'm gonna import as a start الشوت اللي كنا عم نحكي عنها يلي رح نستعملها بهيدا بالصف اليوم يلي هي I drag it, I open After Effects, I put it in بتفوت بهالسهولة. Okay? So 100%, it's exactly like Photoshop, a moving Photoshop. 100%. But the thing is, this is a moving pixel, so you cannot trace it unless you have a chroma screen. On Photoshop, you cannot do that. You can actually trace everything. So to put this in our composition, we drag it inside our composition. We have it inside the composition. Here it is. That's our shot. Okay? We can move along with it. And this is the shot we're gonna be working with. In Premiere, كنا بنحطها هي shot مع انه low res, and we press play. حطيت space bar بتلعب. Here 99% of the time it will not be able to do that. 99% of the time, because here it thinks about the pixels in terms of layers, not in terms of clips. So although a clip inside Premiere can be played عادي and edit all run through, when you get it here هلا انا مصغرها هيدا اللي بدي ابعث لكم اياه هون. This is why there is underscore one. This is a 50 megabyte, so it's a very small video resolution that I will be sending you for you to play with. So this is why it's easy to navigate inside. Okay, so this is our layer one, and this is the solid behind it. So أنا اللي عم بقوله, we have everything. We can put absolutely anything. We can duplicate it, put another one, scale it down as we want. It's just another layer of video that we can just play around with. Okay, just another layer, like Photoshop exactly. Okay, so you can do another one and just do another. It's just nothing. Yani it's not like Premiere. You cannot. The end, you have these layers one over the other that are coming together. Okay, so they're not coming one after the other with Premiere. Once you add a layer, you're just adding a layer on top. You're not adding it on a timeline. This is the timeline for us, but it comes vertically, not horizontally like in Premiere. And here نحن فينا we can decide to move it and decide that this comes first, then this comes first, and this comes later, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I'll remove all this, delete. I'll have the composition that is empty, and I'll drag my footage here as a start. Too fast or easy? جو ما حكيت. جو ما في جو. ملحم.
انا كله تمام.
easy enough. ريان. Okay, great. Alright, so this is our composition. هيدي الشوت من أولها لآخرها is extremely long. This is a 1 minute and 20 seconds. Okay? This is the work area, like in Premiere, that we put it على قد هون. With shift we can snap it. Okay? I right click, trim composition to work area just to make sure that I'm only working for this shot. So I have it from beginning to end. Okay? So we'll start by looking what we have here. I'll start by talking about the raw footage. أكيد. You know the أكيد صرتوا تعرفوا. Your footage is always should always be shot in RAW to get a maximum quality in terms of lighting and colors later on. So sometimes, like for this one, we have everything in RAW, but since it's a screen and it's a light coming out of the screen, we have enough quality here. But normally our green would look washed out like in RAW footage here. What we would need to do is actually take it to 701, but we don't want to do that, so we'll add a level effect. This is the effects here. Okay, and I'll drag it either over the footage or over the layer. Okay, so I'll go somewhere here just to see what we have. And I'll open the footage. Okay, and this is why we do this, to be able to get a decent green screen aside to be able to key. Yeah. So one of the questions that I always get is, why the hell did we shoot on green screen since we could have shot the whole thing with the footage inside, right? مين بده يعطيني جواب من هالأجوبة؟
Reflections.
Yes.
Pixelation.
Yes.
Also colors. Melodian.
100%. We can play with the colors inside. صح لحاله. And the footage. 100%. And normally 90% of the time رح يجي تشينج عليه، وحتى اذا شو ما كان يكون عم نعمله جوا رح يجي تشينج عليه، رح يجي الكلاينت يقلكم عن سبيشالي دعايات او بفيلم او نو ماتر، هاي البرودكشن يقلكم بدي غير هاي الشوت الموجوده بالنص، و not having an actual green screen there would limit us to extreme in terms of working with the shot. صح. Great. So the keyer inside After Effects is called the key light. Okay? So these are the effects and presets اللي هن موجودين هون. These are the effects and presets اللي عنا اياهم هون. Alright? فينا نكبس key light مجرد نكتبها ونحط onto the main. Okay, so we take the screen color, eyedropper, and we put it inside. إذا ننتبه هون حتى فرجيكم إياها هيك، البلاك اتاكل منه للزلمة صح؟ لأنه هيدا كان لونه green. So the green has left us even with him. We need to fix the keyer that we have. I will let you, I don't want to go into each one of these settings لأنه if we go into them you will get lost a little bit إذا بدي أفرجيكم كل شغلة شو لازم تشوفيها تعمل. But this is a very intensive keyer. It's a beautiful keyer. But I will show you a little bit how we can close the gaps of the green and make the whole thing good. Basically, what the most important because I don't want to give you every single one of them. If I go through them, it's gonna be hell. So hell for you, because I will not be giving you any information. I will give you the main stuff. You have the colors, the screen color. This is one thing you need to play with. So every time you get a green screen, this is number one, the color. Number two, you look at is the clip black. The third is the clip white, and the fourth is the hard color and soft color. Can you see the difference here between both options?
بس سؤال
Yes.
شو الفرق لما تحط الالفا شانلز بلاك اند وايت بالكينج؟
عن جديد ما فهمت سؤالك.
شو الفرق لما نكون عم نعمل كينج نعمل نحطه الفا شانل وتصير عندنا الصوره بلاك اند وايت بالكينج؟
قصدك هيك؟
I guess the contrast.
لا مش قصده بعتقد this.
صح.
Okay. This is to be able to key and to be able to look. Okay, everything that is black now on the screen is the alpha. Everything that is white is the colors. To be able to see if التفريغة خفف شوية التفريغ اللي عملناه هون تشوف الفرق. هون شو عم بيطلع معنا رقته. This is what left us at the beginning. So لو من الأول نحن جينا حطينا بدل ما نعمل هيك بدل ما ندغري نشوفها final result اللي هي هون. حطيناها سكرين مات اللي هي عم تفرجينا الألفا والفل الألفا channel والار جي بي channel تبعنا. This is how we can see that there is something missing or something is removed from the screen. Okay? So فينا نحطها من هون and decide to actually push to be able to extend more the alpha channel. This is on black, or add more of the black. إذا انتبهتوا لما شدنا هيدي زاد شوي عندي pixelations here. Normally هيدي ما بتطلع بس we can remove this with a little bit of black. I added 5 black to be able to get rid of everything that is noisy inside. Okay? And this is the final result. Of course, we have the trackers, صح? And this is the thing that we have a problem with. To be able to remove, because now I'll get any picture. We'll use any one of these, شو ما كانت تكون for now, and we'll add it underneath it.
The trackers will show.
أكيد. We have the trackers اللي هن موجودين هون. نكبر هيك حتى نشوفها. Okay. We have the trackers اللي موجودين هون اللي هن عم يجوا على الشاشة تبعنا. صح؟ So what else? What other problem do we have in this shot? Before I press play, what do you think we have another problem? If I remove the trackers now, will we be done?
على هالشيء we need to track it.
We need to track it, of course. Okay, great. Just making sure. All right. To be able, before we track everything, we're gonna make a mask and remove the trackers. So the original shot will track it inside. We'll decide what part we need on it, and we'll do the tracking together. Okay. So to make a mask, we take the layer, of course, and we go to the pen tool here. All right, and we create with the pen tool a mask over the trackers. The mask took, here are all the layers, okay? Inside, this is the effects control, and this is the mask. The mask, this is what we put. We can invert the selection of the mask, and we have it here. All right. Inside After Effects now, we're gonna decide that this is our beginning, and we're gonna take 10 seconds from the shot, which is a lot, and close it down. Okay. We're gonna consider that this is the shot that we want for now. The beginning shot is where we did the mask. At the beginning of the shot is where we did the mask. Okay. But now we want the mask to follow the shot. Yeah? So I'll just turn off the background for now to be able to see everything that's happening. I'll go on the mask. I right click, and there is something called track mask. When we click that, we get a tracker here, and we press play on the tracker. What's happening now is the tracker is following. It's calculating the position of the camera moving only for the mask, not for the shot. So we do not have a final output yet, but what we're doing is we are actually tracking. Can you see it moving, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now we're moving towards, of course it's frame by frame. We're moving towards more and more towards the end of the shot to be able to make a clean plate out of all of this, and to have the only thing that is happening is the shot that we need. I'll give it a couple of more seconds just to Any question till now? حدا يسألني.
ما في لا كله تمام بالنسبة لي.
Okay.
question please.
Yes, please.
إذا كانت الجرين سكرين فيها shadows هو لازم يكون ضوء مظبوط. بس let's say don't في problems بالضوء هيك.
100%. This is what we will get to. هلا عم فاجيكم على one that is easy to key, and I'll give you this one to show you what something that is easy to key, and every time we'll go into something harder, into something with more problems and stuff like that, and we'll be moving forward with them one by one to see what kind of problems we might have.
بس أنا عندي سؤال.
تفضلي.
هلا كل شيء بقى بالأفتر من البوست بس أنا من الأساس هيدا اللي على اللابتوب ما بعرف كيف أعمل.
You mean the key light اللي حطيناه هون؟
لا هي يعني هو حاطط اللابتوب بس.
تصوير. عم تحكي عن التصوير. Okay. I'll show you something easy. بس انت عندك لابتوب صح؟ اوكي. شو كان سؤالي؟ So ماشي. Green screen with trackers. هاي حتى بس ما تتعذبي انت تعمليهم. Images, and that's the image we used. Yeah? Clear?
Okay.
It's that easy. And all we need is something to track. It could be anything. فيك تحطي شيطان على الشاشة تبعك إذا ما عندك هيدا الشيء. You can actually take a green cardboard and do it aesthetically correct on your screen. Anything that is well lit works. Make sense? Yeah. So I'm not gonna go into Photoshop and tell you that you can put a green screen and put a tracker everywhere. There is hundreds of them available anywhere that you want to be able to put them wherever you want. It's just available for you to put if you want to put it on a laptop for whatever shot that you're using. Yeah? Alright. So now the shot is done, the tracking is done. We can see it's clean. We have a beautiful shot with a great screen that is not tracked but actually screwed up to extreme. Alright? So After Effects comes built in with something called Mocha. Has anyone heard of Mocha?
دكتور ما قدرت فوت عندي على الافتر افكتس for some reason.
Sorry?
ما قدرت فوت للموقع عندي على الافتر افكتس for some reason.
بتعرفه.
بعرف بس مش هالمعرفة انه مرق شوي يعني مش.
ليش ما فات معك؟ هو بيجي بقلب اصلا.
Yeah, it's plug in بس انه بس عم فوتها بدي ارجع ممكن انظم هاي اللكشر مشكلة بالضبط.
اوكي انت اي افتر افكت عم بتنزل عندك؟
Let me check one moment. هلا بعده معي 2600 سي سي.
اوكي ار يو ايبل تجيب واحد اجدد شوي؟ 18 19 20 I think it might be a bug with the crack that you have. هلا normally we should not use cracks, you all know this, but since you are in education I have the licenses for them أكيد. But eventually once you're out of university you need to be able to get yours. منهم غاليين later on, but right now مع وضع البلد مش هقول لحدا يعني subscription مع ادوبي برات لبنان مثل ما كلكم تعرفوا. مش هفتح هالموضوع. Yes. So okay. So I'll keep going. حدا سامع غير بمكة؟ No? Okay, good. Great. جربت تستعمله شي مرة؟
ايه نحن سنة الماضي اشتغلنا عليه.
والله كلكم؟
ايه بس اشتغلنا عليه شوي بسرعة لأنه كان في وقت وضع البلد مش كتير مثل سمح يعني كان عندنا وقت أكتر نفوت ديتيلز فيه فمثل كان قصص حشونا إياها حاشي دغري بسرعة.
اوكي. اوكي جريت كلكم ما هيك في حدا مش ما بيعرفوا لانه كان حدا اللي ما بيعرف افتر افكت مثل الماضي انجا فاتحه عشان هيك I went into this. Okay. This is crucial. Okay. Then للي ما بيعرفوا and this is the first time رح نمشي فيه رح نمشي عليه. اللي ما بيعرفوا I need him to يعمل أكتر research عنها كمان online to get to know it better. For the people that actually know it, I need a good result منه لأنه research will help a lot. It's not a hard software, it's a very very easy software وحرام ما تعرفوه. And by using it you'll understand how everything is done وحرام ما تكونوا انتوا شغالين عليه يعني why not to understand. It's a shame not to understand how it works and what is doable and not doable لأنه 90% من وقتهم especially إذا عم تشتغلوا انتوا student project و later on أول ما تبلشوا you will not have the budget for a post-production supervisor on set, so you need to shoot everything well from the start and you need to understand what you're doing. Okay, so we'll go into Mocha for now. We select the shot, animation, track in Mocha AE. We give it a second for Mocha to open. لحالها بتجي الشوت ريدي اند ان والاوت تبع لانه بتعرفوا نحن كان عندنا شوت طويل من الاول from the start ونحن استعملنا هيدي جوا After Effects. This is why it comes built in inside After Effects because it already selects the composition that you're working on. Alright? This is to see the whole thing and we can do that just to make sure that we are only working on the area that is needed. Okay? So if we press this again, the second one next to it it just opens up the shot. So even if you did the tracking for this part, and then client or anyone told you that we need the shot to be longer 1 second, you can come here, you would be here, you can come and close down, add the amount of frames that you need from here, and then take it again, okay? And do the tracking, continue the tracking that you've already done. Okay. How we work with Mocha. Mocha has a pen tool here that we can use, that we can create the area we want to track in. So I'll do a small track, some small mask to take all the trackers that we have here, okay? So this is the trackers that we have with us that we want to track as well. And we have something here that is the plane. This plane is what gives us how is the rotation of the screen, because it's not just tracking the information on the screen that we have, it's actually tracking the information at the same angle that the screen is on. This is the grid that helps us determine how the grid is made. To be able to alter this grid, there is a button next to it, and this gives us the edges that we need to put where we need. So this is the part we're tracking. And this gives us the perspective for the grid that we have. Yeah? When we click, if we look at the left corner, we can see that we can actually be very specific with where we put our points. You can see it, yeah? To make sure we have a decent angle for the track that we're gonna use. Before we do any track, this is the layers of the tracking here. We can do several tracking. For example, we did for this one, we can lock it, turn it off, and do another track for the same shot. Okay? But for now, we'll do this one only. It's already enough. And we do the track. We have on the bottom side, on the track panel, we have translation, scale, rotation, shear, and perspective. Okay? Where do we use each? Translation is for something that is just moving. So if we have a camera on a tripod, we know that our camera was on the shot on a tripod. All we need is the translation of something. So if we're taking a building on a tripod, we're shooting a building, and we have a side of the building that we want to add photos of an ad for I don't know what on the side of the building. So we know that this shot was shot on a tripod, and we're only gonna need the translation, not nothing else. So we can turn off everything else. They turn on together and turn off together. So we can turn on each one together, and we can, with the scale, move all of them together. Okay, because we cannot have rotation without scaling. We cannot have shear without rotation and scaling. Yeah, so this is the translation. This is why we need the translation. If we are shooting a building and want to put something on, so the camera is static and the building is static. We have two elements that are static that we want to track one towards the other. So this is why we turn off everything else. It's much easier and it's much more accurate. So if we look at another shot, and it's a car coming towards the camera. The camera, it's still on a tripod, but the number plate of the car that we need to change to put something else, or we want to erase it, or want to put it 111, whatever we want to do. So we'll need the scale as well, because the car will not rotate and the camera is not rotating. Everything is coming straight towards each other, but we need the scale to make sure that the scale of the number plate to coming towards the camera is working. Yeah. Next week رح ابعتكم هيدي شوت اليوم. I need you to do exactly what we did, and I need you to send me a shot من هيدا شيء. Be creative with it. Find a solution to do something with it. find photos online to add on your screen. Maybe there is parts of it, just let me check on the shot. There's part of it where he's actually touching the keypad. So I need you to get involved in After Effects, get involved in stuff that are related to animation a little bit, that I'll be talking about in a little bit, you know, how to actually put the layers and put everything together. And this is what I need from you. So I need you to be familiarized with tracking, and at least for this shot, I mean, so we can move forward to something else. Because if we move forward to something else, you don't know this by heart and you don't understand how the chroma key and this tracking works, it's gonna be hell for you to understand the rest. Yeah? And for the next, for your final project, I'll be sending you one episode like the one we shot last time, that you saw on set last time. There will not be tracking in it because you would be learning the tracking through here, but I need a creativity inside of it, because not VFX is not only related to how do we say, it's not only to technicalities, it's related to creativity and how to put everything together, not just put 1, 2, 3 one after the other and we're done, like we're doing at the beginning of this course. Clear? We'll get to it when we get to it. Alright, what else? Are we all in? Yes. So this is where we were on the keyframe that we added here. We did that, and we have, we're talking about the scale. Okay, so everybody understood the scaling part and why we use the scaling part and the concept behind the scaling, yeah? Now the rotation, which is, let's say, I don't know, not a helicopter, we're gonna say, because helicopter has perspective in it. We're gonna we'll say the rotation of okay, a board. Someone has a board, and that a board on the balcony, and the board is falling, and it's falling straight towards parallel to the building, to the ground. So it will have a little bit of rotation left and right. That rotation we need to track something on that board. So this rotation, we need to add it. We need to add the tracking for the rotation as well. If not, it will the logo we put will go down straight, and everything else will be moving in rotation behind it. Share is exactly the same thing, but a little bit of distortion. So it might be actually that the board is actually looking towards the camera and coming back down. So this will we would need to try it, but this is not a rule. Like if you try, you know that it's something you only need translation for, and you tried it and it doesn't work. It might be the lens that is distorting somewhere, and you need to add something. So you need to add scale, rotation, and share to be able to get the whole track, because the wide angle of the camera already has distortion in it. Should be clear. The perspective is, for example, a car passing by or a bus passing by, and we want to put the logo on the bus. So, or the camera is traveling with the camera is turning around. Okay, let's keep it simple. You have a phone in front of you, and you have the camera that is moving around the phone to the other side, and there is a perspective that is happening between the camera and the element that you want to track. So this is where you put the perspective on. For example, for this shot, which is almost stable, we have rotations, we have scale, we have a little bit of share. So it would be safer to use the share without the perspective, because I don't think we'll be using the perspective for this part, right?
Sorry, بس شو اسمه؟ It's not clear.
أي واحدة؟
Share اسمها بس لأنه الكواليتي واطية على الستريم ما.
هي shear rotation, shear perspective. SHEAR. Okay? So for now I think this is good enough. as information. On the keyframe, these are the trackers. This is where we play the track, okay? I'll open this to be able to see the frames clearly. So we have from here to here. The red means the red line here means that the thing is not tracked yet, and we have to start the tracking. I'll turn on the grid that we had before, okay? And we track. We can see the grid moving with the screen. This tells us that till now we have a very good track. And of course we have to wait for it to end to be able to see the final result and make sure that everything is working together. Let's say if the track doesn't work with you from the first time, it's not a big deal. Sometimes it takes 2, 3, 5 tries to find the right position to do a decent track. You try it and you try it again and you try it again for you to let the computer get lucky with calculating the pixels. Because at the end they are pixels, and if a pixel moves for whatever reason from its place because of a glitch somewhere in the video, that means that is okay, because this is why we repeat it and repeat it to make sure that everything works together. So it's okay to repeat. For this shot, it's quite easy to track. It's a very straightforward shot. Others will find people coming inside of the frame. We'll find people just covering all the tracks, and we'll see how to find new tracking points. Even though we had trackers on set that were hidden from our lens. So if we have a look at it, it's absolutely 100%. You don't ما هيدا اللي كنت عم بقوله هديك المره. انت اذا عندك a moving camera that you need moving camera inside the shot that you want to add a 3D element inside of it, او بدك تحط text بقلبها, you can do that. So انت بتقرر وين بدك تحط التكست. بدك تحطه على حيط معين, you can select and track that wall يعني, and add the element that you want inside of it. Yes, this is why it's such an important tool to have and to know and to understand. Because هيدا بيعلي لك كل الليفل تبع الشغل تبعك. Because this is how it's done when you see opening titles for films, where you see the title of the movie, you see a traveling shot, drone shot traveling over a landscape, or over a building, over a city, and you see text محطوطين عليها, and you see the صح. Yeah?
Okay.
Alright. So we did the tracking from here to here, but the back part we did not yet. We do this and we track back. This is the second part. This is why I started in the middle, to show both, because it doesn't matter if we did the tracking and at the end and we want to extend shot, we don't need to throw away the whole track. We can actually continue from the tracking we did before. And here it shows us the layer 1 being calculated, being tracked, on which frames, going back to actually finalize all the tracking that we have.
سؤال بعتذر يمكن شوي عم بسأل قصص.
please تفضل.
إذا أنا عندي شوت أنا ماشي بالسيارة وعم صور الكاميرا بورق إزاز السيارة وبدي فرجي السيارة اللي قدامي مثلا قلبت وإجت لعندي توورز ذا كاميرا وعملت نوع من روتيشن أو نوع من أي موشن هي وعم تقلب لعندي. هذا الشيء بينعمل على الموقع؟
عم تحكي 3D track يعني. Just 1 second. بس اشوف اذا هيدا الشيء اللي انت قصدك عليه. Your channel. would this be kind of something that you're looking for?
Yes.
اوكي هون نحن اللي عملناه هو غيرنا السيارة. So it was a Ferrari first in the video clip and we had to actually change. لحظة اللي بعدها مش هالشوت. So ما بعرف إذا عم بتلحقوا تشوفوها مع الكونكشن عندكم، حدا عم بيتعذب فيها؟
عندي تمام.
اوكي. اوكي بعتكم اياهم باي ميل اذا بدكم to have a look at all the shots. فيها كثير visual effects هيدي sequence and you can have a look شو عاملين فيهم. يلا I'll do it now. أنا حبعتكم إياها باي ميل ل all of you. I'll remove this from here. بس حتى ما أنسى أبعتلكم إياه. Okay, I sent it. Okay, have a look at it. That what you, this is what you're looking for, صح?
Yes.
Okay. This is a 3D tracker. هلا كل اللي عم فسرلكم عن جوات موكا. This is 2D tracking. Okay? This is why it's free. Inside, but when you need to go into 3D tracking, what I mean is نحن هون عنا الطن عم بيمشي لأن نحن هون عم نصور بدرون. السيارة ماشية لأنه هي سيارة بالتنل. Nothing is stable. Everything is moving towards everything. So I have 0 tracking points to follow. So nothing is stable. Nothing is. What do I need to track? The only thing I could track is the car, and the only thing that I can actually, I need something always that is the origin for me to be able to track it. So for this, we used another software, which is a 3D tracker. I don't know if we'll have time in this course to actually get to it. Here it is. It's called Buju. Okay? I'll just show it to you for 5 seconds before moving on. بس بيفتح عندي على غير مونيتور مجاور بقلبه. 1 second. This is Buju. Okay? Buju, you can actually do the same thing. You import a sequence of video. Then you find you track the camera that you have. You do the camera solver, okay? You put the track features. ما بعرف إذا عم فيكم تقرون. Tracking feature اللي هن points موجودين ب 3D space. بتشوف السين geometry اللي هي وين محطوطة, okay? And then you add a test object that you will not be able to put it here. If you want, I can do a small. The next time I'll make, or in a couple of weeks, we'll make one tutorial on this one as well, just for you to have a look and how it's done. You can put a test object which is similar to this, like a coccinelle on the screen to make sure that the camera is working right. This is just a test, and then you export the camera. You don't export the tracking. You only export the whole camera. And the camera can be exported into After Effects and can be exported into Maya, into Cinema 4D. All the extensions are inside here. Once you click it, it opens up and you can choose the extension and the scaling that you want to use. Then you send that camera there and you'll have the same camera that moved on set is moving inside the software. Okay, so you have exactly the same camera. So like you have in the real on set, you have a camera, you have a car passing by, you can add another car passing by as well. Okay, so you have the camera moving in the same exact position, point by point, like the one that you used on set. So if you have a crane moving or a drone moving, you can recreate that camera moving inside your 3D software and actually move it as well in the same way. You understand what I mean? That, I don't know if it's clear enough. Yeah? So you'll have the actual camera to put element inside of it. Hello, what you said you want from a moving camera that you are inside of it to put a car that is turning and coming back?
يعني كأنه يعني كأنه في سيارة مثل عند الحادث قدامك عم تقلب لعندك بتخبط فيك شيء مثلا شيء بالريسنج كارز أو شيء.
Okay. Your problem here is not the tracking. The tracking is easy. This is the easiest part is the tracking. The hard part is the animation of the actual car being broken down كلها سوا. For this I would recommend. أنت عندك شي شات بدك تعملها هيك ولا this is just an idea that you have?
Just an idea.
Okay, this I would recommend for you to go into something called Unreal Engine, which is easier to render, especially with stuff like that. And use a gaming system which is faster. Yes?
أنا بنشوف إنه بيبقى في 3D modeling you can get from this kind of هيك. هودي وين ممكن نستعمله؟ بأي برامج ممكن نستعمله؟ For example اللي عم يحكي عنه شاب متوسط سيارة عملت حادث في يجيبوا already free models جاهزين لهالقصص.
مش مكسرين بس. بيروحوا على كل الابس هدول بينزلوا انت بالفورمات اللي انت بتطلبه. فور اكزامبل سينما 4 دي في عندك هو بيقول لك ماكس مثلا بيقول لك مثلا اف بي اكس ان سينما 4 دي يوز اف بي اكس وحيلا سايت من هدول السايتس اللي عم بحكي عنهم سوري في بلندر 100% you can use in Blender هو بيعطيك اصلا option for you to download لحظة I'll have several cards I have bought I know Turbo Squid I can show them to you here. بدنا سيارة. هات نشوف وين السيارات.
بس في حسين عوض ويفوت مع يقدر.
مين؟ حسين عوض. Okay. Yes. Show him. Thank you. ايه هلا فوته. Okay, these are مثلا cars. Look at this. This is Bentley Continental تبع أبو ظبي. I used it for a project. Okay. You have it in dot max for 3D Max. 3ds for very low resolution stuff. As you can see from the size of the site. You can see it or not yet? Can you guys see it? Yeah. كبرة شوي. Okay. You have these are all Dubai police cars. I'll show them to you. You have Max 3D هيدا Cinema 4D FBX for Cinema 4D as well or any software .ma يعني Maya .max .obj for it can go into After Effects. So they give you everything that you need and they give you the option to render each one of them. Okay? So and they tell you the renderer as well because only the software is not enough. You need the renderer as well. So OBJ and FBX is normally used for gaming. So if you have a game that you want to use that for, this is how you do it. And you have, this is how it goes. This is what you meant, right? Yeah, but these are the softwares. Any software, when you buy, حدا سألني إنه when you buy something online, a model online, وين فينا نستعمله. So أنت depending what software you know, because you cannot know every software in the world. So depending on what software you are working with and you want to be working with, you download the version that you need. But they're all yours to download. So when you buy something, you can use it anywhere. But always, كيف فوت عليهم هدول؟ Okay, whatever. Okay, كنا مفاجئكم اياهم كبير. But always they come very clean and without يعني 99% if you want a wrecked car, it's not gonna be the same way that you want it to be. If that is understandable, if you know what I mean. Because انت when you want a car عم تتقلب وواصل عندك, you want the breeze to be coming out of it. You want the car when it hits the ground to be broken. You want this because without this feel, what you will have is absolutely just another animation. You know what I mean? It's just another car flipping around and not reacting with the environment you have. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, let's keep going. Alright, so this is the track that we have right now. Okay? The whole thing looks quite clear, huh? And very clean. صح? So right now we export the tracking data. This is the button here because we have the tracker. We export the tracking data. Okay? Copy to clipboard and we go back to After Effects. Okay? Okay, now what we based our track on here is an image that is full HD, صح? And the image that we want to insert here is a full HD image. Alright? So if I come here أنا بقول أنا هيدي هي بدي أحط التراكر تبعي على هيدا. إذا بحط هيك شو بيصير؟ It went somewhere else because what we did is completely wrong. I'll undo. What happened here? It did not understand the image that we have here. This image is this shape. ما جاية full HD. So جاية بالطول. يعني ما بتركب عندي مثل ما أنا بدي إياها. بس أنا بدي آخذ part منها وإلا لهي تكون الإيمج تبعي. So this is what we need it to be. What's the solution behind this? Okay, the solution here is to actually make sure حدا عم بيحكي معي؟ لا. Is to make sure that everything here is HD and my composition, the image that I'm putting in is HD. So what I'll do, there's an easy way to do this, but I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll create a new composition. Cancel, just to show you how. Right click, new composition, like we did at the start. We'll call this screen. And it's full HD as well. Okay? So this screen, it opens here. This screen, I need to put it in the background, behind the shot that we have. Here it is. Okay? And in it, this is the second composition that we added. One composition inside another. Like in Premiere, if you guys know Nest. So we have it pre-composed on the on the footage that we have. Inside of it, I'll add the image that we want to put. So here, I'll consider this the screen that we're using. I didn't do anything with it yet. It's still in the background here. I'll delete this one because we have it inside of here now. I just added it on here. So I can operate here, open the transform. We have position, scale, rotation, opacity. The scale makes it bigger. The position selects what part I want to use in the screen, because this is the screen of the computer, yeah? And I go back. So if I turn off my shot, I can see that it's the same as the screenshot here. Okay? So this is the composition we're working on, this is the final screen. I'll put it full screen here just so we can see that there is absolutely no difference between the two. Here it is, 1 and second. They're exactly the same. So I turn on my shot in the main composition and we can see it is in the background. Yeah? So what I need is go back to Mocha, export tracking data again, and select corner pin. This is the best option for now. I'm not gonna go into the other ones. It's gonna be a bit more complicated. So I take the first one, which is corner pin. I copy it to clipboard. Copy to clipboard means control copy as anywhere else. Go back to After Effects. Go back to the beginning of the shot, because this is the shot we're using. It starts from here. The keyframe are gonna be pasted from here to here. Okay? So the beginning of the shot. Okay? Go back to After Effects. The screen as I'm tracking, not the shot. I'm tracking the screen. And I will I'll put it on top just for us to see what's happening. Okay, and I'll paste, edit, and paste. So something is wrong, right? Which is great. But we can see that now we have something that is working on the shot that we have. So it's almost there, but we need to figure out what the problem happened with us. Okay? You can see the problem. So why did this happen? I will undo. I'll do it here. We'll go back to the original shot. Yeah. I put it in the bag to see what is happening with me. And I will go to my shot here. Second. Okay, this is not supposed to happen, which is great. It's a good thing that it happened to us. Let's find the solution for it. Okay. Normally, when something like this happens, it's either a problem in the frame rate. I think I found it, and it's a very good thing for us to see. Okay, our timeline, which is something really cool that happened to us, so we can find the problem and fix it. Our timeline is made of 25 frames per second because when we started, this is what was done, right? And this film, because this is what we did the first composition. When we created our composition, we said that in the area here, the composition is done on 25 frames per second. Look how really لك قد ايه دقيق السوفت and ما فينا نلعب معه بهيك قصص لان دايما في غلطه ولا مره السوفت هو بيعمل غلط نحن دايما بنكون عاملين الغلط. سو الشوت مثل ما قلنا نحن اول ما فتحنا الكومبوزيشن قلنا اذا واحد مصور فيلم سينما عاده بيصوروا على 24 فريم بير سكند. بس وقت بلشنا قلنا اذا نحن عم نعمل فيديو بلبنان بنصور 25 وبالاريا ميدل ايست and Arab world نحطها على 25 فريم بير سكند because we are at PAL not NTSC. USA is NTSC 25.97 or 30 frames per second. So since the video was shot at 24 frames per second and we did our sequence at 25 frames per second, there is a problem with the frame rate between the two. How we fix this? I'll cancel this one and I'll go to the timeline. Okay? Our timeline layer, composition setting, the composition needs to be fixed. It's put at 25 frames per second, which we don't want. We open it, we put it back at 24. Okay? And since we cut a little bit of it, we need to add a little bit the time. I'll put it at 11 because we removed a little bit of the frames at the end. Okay? And we'll get rid of the tracking we did to start from here. This is the shot we have. We go back to Mocha. Now all we did is we fixed our timeline to 24 frames per second. Okay? So now we go back to Mocha, copy again the tracking, copy, and we paste it again on the screen here. Now it should be perfect and inshallah تكون. It's not. Why? This is weird.
isolation scale او
No, absolutely not. لأنه هي راكبة هون. It's a frame rate thing. Here it works fine. The reason is the only thing is we're starting at the frame that is wrong. The frame here, because when we cut this, when we did the cut here for this one, sorry, when we did the cut here, we started at this frame rate. But when we changed the frame rate of the sequence, this exact frame changed. Maybe for a couple frames later because it's 24, not 25. So we're gonna fix that problem. We're gonna go back and close this one because we cannot figure out anymore which frame it calculated the 24 to 25 to start the first frame that we have. Okay? And this is great that it's happening to us because this is how it happens every time. Every time there is a sequence, somebody shot something different. There is always a learning curve to every shot. Every shot should be dealt with separately. So it's good that it's happening, that the problems are happening with us. This way we can fix them together and see how at the end we'll have a perfect shot. Okay? The frame rate, as we saw, is 24. If we had seen this, we would have, if we had looked at this, we would have known that there is a problem that we will issue. Yes, replace it because the old one we don't need. Here is the shot. We open it. And like we said, we open. I'll do it fast right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and cut. I'll do the track now just to open this. Open this one. I'll put the screens at its place to make sure that the final output will be at its right location. Okay, and this one a little bit further. Okay, I'll make sure that the angle is right, and I'll track it. Okay, this is a very good thing. This is what happens almost every time. It's something that we need to put inside our head every time. It's never the software that is buggy. It's always us. It's always a problem. Somewhere we made a little bit of a mistake. Somewhere we got loose with the project and we said, oh, that doesn't work. We open any timeline, we put any settings, it doesn't matter, and we go with it. And this is actually what happens to us when we get into the project. We find out that there is actually a problem with our footage and the timeline is wrong. And putting a shot of 24 frames per second on a timeline, like here until this finishes, putting a shot that is 24 frames per second on a timeline that is 25 frames per second will make it jitter every time. So sometimes you watch an ad and you see that look, there is like a problem with the render or with the shot, with the way everything is moving. You know that the camera does not do that. You cannot find out what the problem is. Normally they shot with 2 cameras. Let's say one shot is right, perfect with the timeline that they're working on, and the second shot they're using is the second camera they shot on was put on 24 frames per second, and the edit between them, you can always see the difference between a film 24 frames per second and a 25 frames per second shot, even if they're just one after the other. Has anyone witnessed something like this with the project? Like they shot with the camera 24 and edited on the 25.
no دكتور، بس عندي سؤال related للموضوع.
أول
مثلا انا في كذا طريقه نعمل تراك والقصص. since انه هاي already safety وعليها tracking points it's free. اليوم نستعمل اوبشن تراك موشن، ده نعمل solid color او سوري old color وعملنا تراك عليه وهيك. شو قصدي؟
لا عدلي، بس انت شو قصدك؟ وين بدك تعمل تراك موشن؟ بافتر؟
بلا ما نستعمل موقع في اوبشن بالافتر افكتس تراك موشن.
Okay, the difference between Mocha, the tracker inside After Effects and the tracker inside of Mocha, After Effects uses, يعني انت بتفوت تحط له tracking and you're using one point to track. صح؟ بتفوت بتقول بدي هيدا البوينت هيدا، اذا قلت له سكيل وروتيشن بيعطيك 2 بوينتس، بتحطهم على 2 بوينتس محلين التراكرز تبعك and you start your track. 90% of the time مثل ما قلت لكم حتى هون this is area tracking, so you're taking a whole area of pixels عم تقول له يعمل tracking. So imagine at this table هيدي تقريبا شي 50 times more than 50 اكثر بكتير than in After Effects. In After Effects we can always see that there is a little bit of movement inside the track between both. And you'll see here خد سيبها عندي ورا شوي هون ايه بتخلص هون بتصير part of the shot completely. You'll have a look. And I'll paste it. And here we go. I'll keep it to render a little bit. أكيد فيها هالقد key frames. هذا بشوفه على الطرف في a little bit of white of alpha channel too. This has multiple solutions that we can find. And have a look. There is not even one jitter outside of its area. The whole thing works 100% right. It's as if the screen is there. I'll just remove the alpha channel to have the black in the background instead. Sorry. And is it clear? Can anyone see? Can everybody see this? Yeah. So the shot is now it is perfect. So now all we need to do, we have the shot that is خلاص working perfectly, is go inside of this composition and decide what we want to put here. So let's say we want to put, I don't know, let's find something, libraries. I'll just add anything inside. Let's say this one, I think, I don't care. We can drag it and put it on the timeline, it will import it, put it here, and that's fine. Talking inside After Effects. Come on. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this shot is here. Okay, so I'll turn off the background. I remove the alpha channel just so we can see what's happening. So كل شيء عملناه هو زدنا shot here اللي هي بدها تصير عنا بال1 هون. Okay, so قد ما حطها هون قد ما بكون معباية هونيك. So I open this for all the transform units تبعنا. في عنا scale بكبرها حتى تيجي على الشاشة تبعنا قد ما بدنا اياها. And then I go back to 1 هي ذاتها بتكون على الشاشة عندي. And we have the shot here on the laptop tracked. Okay, I'll render it for you to see here. عندي RTX 2060 I think. This is a laptop. ايه بس this is not a very hard shot. This is a 50 megabyte. بس انا بعتقد الفوتج اللي حاططهم هن شوي تقال مشان هيك عمل شوي تقل. So this is the final shot. Okay, and if I go inside, we can move the shot. نقول نحن هون تفتح هي بتعمل شي تاني. نقول نحن بدنا اياها من هون وتبرم مثلا ميل. And then we can edit inside or put any video that we want. Clear هيك؟ Okay. I'll get to the animation now. Let me know, is it لهلا هين ولا too much information?
That's okay.
Okay. عباس ملحم
انا رواق تمام.
easy enough. Okay. ريان
تمام، بس بدي ارجع يعني بعد الحصه شوي اعمل ريسيرش لانه مش كثير انا بعد اول مره عرفت.
Hey, I understand. Hey, مشان هيك أنا I recorded this course and لأنه فيه شوية details كتار especially بالأول عم نحكي عن المابينج how it works a little bit the ideas and here the details. أنا أكيد if something you need something very specific هلا لأنه حفوت بشوي بالانيميشن كمان to create something a shot inside a shot, let's say monitoring مثل كان هو عم بيحضر سي سي تي في تبع location. رح نركب شوتات بقلبها ونقول مثلا انه how to create a small animation inside of it. This is gonna be a little bit tricky to actually grasp all at once in one session. Yeah, I understand. Okay. So this is the shot. It's tracked. It's great. But now, akid, this is not what we want inside the monitor that we have. We want something else. We want something more towards how do we say this? More CCTV, more related to reality. Okay. So what we can do, since the shot is done, here we can jump from one to another. Keep the screen and the composition, the original composition. So here in the screen, we can decide to, okay, I don't want this, I will delete it. And I don't want this, I will delete it as well. Okay, so we have an empty screen now. The screen is here, it's empty. So we want to create CCTV. Let's say we want to design something inside of it. We have a little bit of stuff here. Normally we would go into finding either, let's say, a template of animation, or we can do it ourselves. So let's say we want to create as if the guy is actually watching 4 cameras in front of him, yeah? So what we'll do, yes? CCTV يعني كاميرا مراقبة. يس عم بحكي انه حط مثل كاميرا مراقبة لتاخد كل هيدول كانه هو عم يحضر كاميرات مراقبة. This is it. Okay. So what we'll do, I'll show you كمان how do we get stuff يعني this is nothing special يعني. I'll get some stuff from YouTube to create something with all of this. Okay. From from Google. Okay. So I'll start by creating here a rectangle tool. I'll create one, let's say like this. This is one rectangle. I'll duplicate, Control D, I'll duplicate to move it. Next to it, I'll take both and duplicate it to move them down. Okay? So we don't have enough space. We need to make the whole bunch. S, if we press S, we open the scale. Okay? S to close, S to open. And we make it a little bit smaller. And we'll put this one here. This one here. This one here. مش masks, no. These are shapes. These are shape layers from here. صح. يا حي square. هون في square. Can you see here my hand where it is? It's the same element اللي هو فيه اللي هو بيعمل ماسك. بس when nothing is selected on screen, it becomes a drawing tool. Okay, so I added the 4 cameras that are layer 1, sorry, 2 to 4. I'll put them down a little bit in the middle, move them a little bit to the right with the arrows. Okay, and I'll put this for the information, let's say. Okay, so from here we can choose 4 videos that we have. I'll import any 4 videos. I'll find out something to let's say we want, where do I have something on the D? Library, not libraries, common project. Here I have a lot of videos. Okay, I'll take openers, let's say. I'll take 4 of them and I'll import them. Please stop me when there's something hard. These are the 4 videos that we just imported. I'll put them all in one folder. I'll call this, let's say, rushes. Okay, and they're inside. I'll drag them all inside my composition at the bottom. Here they are. I'll fix a little bit my scene. And I will S to scale, scale down, P for position, take the first one and put it in its place. I'll go back in, I'll scale it back under the yellow line, somewhere like this, with the arrows, move it in place. Sorry? Squares are, yes, they're a grid. They're exactly a grid. You can do whatever you want. I'm just putting something to make something fast. We have to keep something in mind that doing an animation is not a 5-minute thing. It takes time, and it takes a lot of time to actually make something beautiful. Or this is design. We have to go into design. But what I'm not asking you to design, or I'm asking you to know how to use the tools. Okay? So this is the second one. I'll put it in here. Almost in the middle. I'll expand this. Put this inside. I'll take the third one. Sorry, undo. I'll take the third one, take it down, scale it up, scale it down as well. I'll look what I have here. In place, the last one. And in its place. Okay, so we have the 4 in their place. We go back, and as well we have all the animations inside, as if we have 4 cameras. Let's say you guys have 4 cameras that you shot on the screen that you want to put, and you want him to actually shift between one another. This is where we go to the original shot and decide that I'm gonna use this to actually move from one screen to another, to use his hand to move from one screen to another. So this way I would follow on the same frame that he's moving his finger to move everything here as well. So we can decide anything that we want inside this. Okay. Clear? Easy enough, right? Yeah. Okay, I'll go into the concept of keyframing now. If somebody has a question before we go into keyframing. ريان انت حاسك شوي with us. شو ريان؟ ايه هلا عم بسمعك، ما كنت عم بسمعك قبل. سوري؟ اوكي I'm saying انه هلا حنفوت على الكي فريمينج، انه this should be this is هلا ركبنا هيك لنقول القصص اللي بدنا اياها. I'm not gonna go into the design, then we can go anywhere we want بشيء اسمه design. I want to go into keyframing and showing you how we do keyframe. Let's say he clicks on one screen and we move. So before going into that concept, I wanted to ask if everything is clear and if there's. All right. Okay. So keyframing. For the keyframing, what is keyframing? Keyframing is telling After Effects where to go from one point to another. This is basic animation. We're gonna use it to say that when he's looking to the screen in front of him, he clicked on one of the screens, and that screen got bigger and filled his whole computer. Okay. So we're gonna say that he's actually playing on the keypad here, and he clicks on this square, and this camera brings it up and becomes full screen. Okay. So we're gonna do that. We select this. This is the actual layer that is on top. Okay, and we have here is the video that is underneath. We want to move these two together. To be able to move these two together, there is a concept called parenting. Okay? The parenting is we parent one layer to another. So everything we do to one layer happens to the other. To be able to do that, there is the first part is parent. Here we have parent and link. To parent this, we take this curve here and we drag it to the actual video. This is solution number one. Yes, absolutely. Undo. So we have this is the top layer. Okay, this is the square. And this is the video underneath. What I want is when he clicks on this video becomes bigger and to cover everything else. Okay? So, to be able to do, because I need the top layer, the square, and the video to move together. Because when we do scale, if we do the scale for this alone, what will happen is it will do this. So it will not work. Okay? So what I need to do is actually create a parent between these two. I need to link them together as when I move the parent of these two layers, the top one, the one that is parented to, okay? It moves towards, the second one moves with it. So to do the parent is, on the parent link there is this icon here next to it. I link the square that is on top to the actual video. We can do the opposite side as well. We can link the video to the actual square. It doesn't matter. But the thing is, if I move the square now, it will move alone. But if I move the video with positioning, okay, both of them are together now. Because the video is the parent and the square is the child, if that makes sense. Okay? So the child can be moved alone, but the parent, when the parent moves, the child will move with it. So this is the parent, this is the child. How do we know? We took the child into the parent and we linked them together. If we did the other part, if we did this we took the actual video and we linked the video to the shape becomes the parent and the video becomes the child. So now if I move the shape layer, both of them move. Oh, so I moved the video, sorry. I moved the video. Undo. Okay. Okay, if I take the shape layer and I move the shape layer, both of them move together. If you see, I'm selecting the shape layer. So this is the parent now, and this is the child. Okay? So this is linked to layer 5. This is layer 5, which is the shape layer that we have here. Okay. So, yes, I can link all the videos, let's say, to that shape layer, to the same one. We don't want to do that, but I'll do it for the test. Okay, so now if I move the shape layer, all the videos will move with it. Okay, this is because now the shape layer is the parent. Okay, and all the videos are the children. So if I take the bottom 3 and I remove the parent from them, none. Now the only thing that will move is the video underneath it that is linked to it. Okay? So now what I want is to create a keyframe on the scale. Okay? There is a clock watch here that actually allows us to create animations. I'll open everything here. We can create clock walk for anything. We can create an animation and a keyframe for absolutely any parameter that we have. Okay? So at the beginning, I want it to stay like that, but at second 5, let's say, or let's put it at second 3, I want the scale to move. I click on this, it becomes blue, it gives me a keyframe, and here we have, I'll move the cursor, we have a button to tell us there is a keyframe here. Okay? I'll move this a little bit. Now we will have, of course, a problem, because I'll show you why. When we click like that, it gets bigger. So now we need to put another keyframe on the position to put it back together. But we don't want to do that because it would not be clear. Yes, please, Hassan.
Nothing.
All right. So I don't want to do that because this will make me okay. I'll do it just to show you what will happen. I'll go to the second 3. Put a scale here and put a keyframe on scale and keyframe on position, and I'll move a little bit further. I need at 5 seconds, so it will take 2 seconds and a little bit to do the scale. We'll make the scale and we'll move the position to its position. So look how hard it is to do that.
The anchor point.
So this is why I said 100%. So this will take a lot of time for us to actually match everything together for it to work, which is something we don't want to have. So I'll undo everything and undo the keyframes until we get rid of all the keyframes. And the right way to do that is on the video or on the parent actually. I'll go inside. I'll take the tool here that is the anchor point. I'll click it. Now we can move the anchor point. This is the anchor point where everything is moved, from where everything is moving. Okay? So I'll put this anchor point in its top left location. By doing that, I'll go back and zoom inside as well, just to make sure I have it at the right place. Okay, I'll zoom out. And now, instead of putting a keyframe on scale and position, we'll put a keyframe on 2 seconds, let's say, on scale alone, move a little bit in the timeline to say how long we want the animation to be, and I'll scale it, and it will come alone in its place. So we decided where the anchor point would be. We decided the anchor point here is from where the animation will happen. Okay? So when we have a look, at what we did. We press 0 to render and to watch what we did. I'll drop the sound. Okay. Great. First problem we have is we have the shape layers of all the others, because our video is underneath all the shape layers, but over the other videos that are being shown. We don't want that. We want this to be on top of everything else. So if we put this on top of all the layers, what we'll have the video on top of everything, but what we'll lose is the shape layer that we need, which is this one. So we need to put everything here. Now we have this, both layers together, the shape layer and the video together on top of everything else, because we start from top and we go to the bottom of the layers. Alright, let's watch again and find what other problems we have. Okay, we have a look and we see that actually the animation is jittery. So when it starts suddenly and stops suddenly. You guys notice this, right? Again? Sorry? Not the blur effect. Actually, we need that the keyframes do not go in a straight line. I'll show you the keyframe right now, which is on this. Now, okay, the keyframes right here are like this. Straight, up, straight. It should be curvy for that the keyframe go in smoothly and go when the animation arrives to an end, it slows to stop. So, to be able to do that, we select our keyframes, okay? And the shortcut to do that is F9. If we wanted to do them by hand, we go into keyframe interpolation, and we change linear to continuous Bezier. Okay? So by doing that, it does this thing, but I'll show you as well, by selecting them and pressing F9 on the keyboard, it does the same thing. With 0, we can see it's smoother now. Did you guys see the difference? Yeah? Great. Okay. So, this is very important. This is something that everybody misses. I don't know why. But this is how it works. So, it's just an F9 on the keyframe that you need. Okay? So we'll go back to the other composition and we'll have a look. No. Okay. Now we have a look at it. So if we wanted to click to something, if you were using a computer and this happens to us, we say that the software is extremely slow, right? So we need it to be faster. What we need to do is go to the keyframes, plus minus, yes, put the keyframes closer together. So we're starting here at 210. I think 15 frames is more than enough. We'll go to the 24 to 3. I will drag this keyframe to here. So that way it becomes much faster. So let's have a look. That looks more realistic. We have the animation. It looks fine. So now it's layer by layer. We can actually start to add everything that we need. We need to change the colors. We can change the colors. We can play around with the design, put stuff in here, add a lot of information, make an animation of numbers. We're not gonna go into each one of these right now, but we can do that later on if you guys need, if somebody needs to, because this is not part of visual effects. This is into animation, but this is how it goes, and this is how we do it. Questions? No questions today? كله هالقد هين؟
كثير فارق عن الكورس اللي اخذته السنه الماضيه.
ليش؟
السنه الماضيه كنا بيسلي كثير عم نحكي اكثر شيء what is color, reduce saturation, shadows, highlights واشتغلنا اكثر على دافنشي وكيف نقرا سكوبس وهيك، ما اخذنا على الافكتس كثير.
صح. لا انا ما بيهمني، انا at the end ما بيهمني انه بس تشتغل على سكوب لازم تكونوا تعرفون and this is something you can learn easily online. what اللي بيهمني انه to actually experience even more than the course right now that we're talking together here. It's actually to experience the software and try to manipulate it for it to give you what you actually want. يعني imagine what you want from it and let it give it to you. And this is why I would go into coloring, but I don't think this is something that is related to visual effects. I prefer going into visual effects and compositing and doing the coloring for the compositing. So if we're putting two shots together, how we make sure that the two shots are not mismatching in terms of color. So it's actually rectifying the colors instead of grading the whole shot.
Great.
Yeah? Okay, I will be sending you this shot that we worked on, this one, the whole thing. I need you to select a part of it. The whole shot, where is it here? This one that we started with. I'll be sending you the shot for you to play with it. There is a lot of...
We have to create something like
Yeah, choose 10 seconds from it and create something for next time. Send it to me before the course so I can get the time to actually have a look at it and we can talk about them during the course. We'll open them one by one and to see what you guys did and how much I was able to transmit to you during this course. Because I know that's a lot of information. Even if you know After Effects, this is quite a bit of information. This is two softwares working hand in hand together with all the problems that might happen with you along the way.
Okay.
Yeah?
Can we call it image?
Sorry?
Something. Can we call it image? Or something?
Of course.
What?
Anything that you need, guys. Honestly, send an email. I might take a little bit of time because I still have my business to run. So I might take a little bit of time because tomorrow I'm going to Egypt, for example. I'm coming back on Friday. So I might take just a little bit more time to answer, but be very thorough with your question so I can answer it straight away.
Okay.
All right. Other questions? Nothing? هالقد هين؟ خش حاله. ريان أنا بدي منك اسمع لأنه بعرف أنت you are the least experienced with After Effects.
صح. هلا انا يعني اوكي فهمت الاشياء شرحتها بس اكيد شرحناها من ساعه اكيد نسيتهم غلط.
ما I know it's a lot of information. This is why I decided to record the course. But I need more interaction. I need you to ask. I need you to research more. And I need كمان شغلة تانية لأن next time or the time after, I don't mind, for you to find a subject related to post-production and related to technology inside post-production. It could be augmented reality, it could be virtual reality, it could be which we will cover each one separately in one of at the beginning of every course, for you to actually just understand how much there is stuff inside this field and how much people are doing inside of it. Character animations, how to make a character real, how to model a real character for online like they do in films, what software to be needed. So I need each one of you to start to research one item. Tell me what it is next time. What type of technology. I don't want to give you the subjects. I need you to find them. If it's something that I know that there is not a lot of information, or the information are going to be covered in this course, then we'll tell you choose another one. If not, then we'll find how do you say? We'll find for you another subject to research. So in my opinion, this is gonna be quite interesting to see what types of technology you will find, and for us to put them in, to add them if you need inside the beginning of every course. Like everybody would know them, and you would go and research it and get all the information that is needed. I don't want to give them to you, the subjects, because if I do give them to you, you will be obliged to take one and choose it. Or if you research, you will find more stuff than me just giving you a course. Right?
Okay.
Sorry?
One question.
Yes?
So for the next week, should we give you the topic about the research we want to do, or should we start presenting it?
For next week, it's the shot I need from you. Okay? The shot that I will be sending you. For the week after, but no, I mean for next week, or if you don't find anything till next Monday, then we can postpone the subject to one more week. But I prefer for you to bring me information or bring me subjects so that we can actually talk about, and if one of them does not match what I'm looking for in terms of technology related to post-production, then then I can change it for you, so you'll have more time. So no, actually for next week, do a little research. Just give me the subject that you need. Don't research it. You don't have a presentation to make till next week. This is not what I mean. I mean just find the subject and something around it, like you understood what it's about, and how even if you know something already, it's great for you to go into it. And when we send the presentation, all of us will all have this presentation, and and you guys all will benefit from each other in terms of criteria, in terms of how do you say, in terms of information. Let's put it that way. Do you guys have access to, because someone told me that you have access to a green screen. بالجامعة أنا امبارح شفت إنه عندكم green screen. Do you have access to cameras or not? بالجامعة. بس فسروا لي لأن هدول ما بعرفهم عندكم بالجامعة.
أنا جديد على الجامعة
في cameras بالجامعة used inside the university.
So you can actually light your own chroma, the green screen. فيكم تضووها تستعملوها؟
Yes.
Great. Okay, great. Because I wanted to send you the project, but I need you to actually shoot on chroma and fall into the problem of green screen. So I want you to do that for the end project of this course.
Okay.
I prefer for you to go into the problems of shooting and delivering.
هلا بالنسبة للفاينل بروجكت هو حيكون عبارة عن بروجكت نحن بنختار الثيم تبعه وكل شيء.
أكيد الثيم تبعه هو عن one of theme هو اللي عم بقول لك عنه. This is how the presentation will be made. يعني you will present, put the green screen, choose the rushes online, find the stuff related to it, talk about them all, either yourself or a presenter of your choice, do an edit with them, and output a final product that is creative, shot maybe multiple angles. This is up to you to find a solution for this with everything that we're learning here. Maybe find sorry?
Okay, we have to plan everything we took and
100%. This way you will learn more about the subject that you're talking about. you'll understand something more. You'll have more videos, all of you, to understand more the subject of the at hand about visual effects and all that. And you'll have how do we say, an experience on green screen and the problems with green screen and what's happening with you. And you'll have editing experience and how to empty it and put it in visual effects. So I think this is it's gonna be a 1 minute to 1 minute and a half video. That's it. A presentation about the element that you need. Because now you're still already we are at the second course and we're getting into tracking. If you put yourself together and بتعطوني نتيجة حلوة بنحطها هيدا الفيديو اللي راح ابعث لكم اياه already I think we get to somewhere really good by the end of the semester, by the end of this course. Of course, this is not something as easy as 1 to 3. لأنه this is an easy shot and the monitor is easy to track. Normally we have something that much harder, which is I'll show you with the remaining time. I'll show you.
على الروتوسكوبيك ما بيخلينا بأوقات كتير نستغني عن كروما.
Never ever راح فرجيك بروجكت اضطرينا نعمل فيه روتوسكوبينج and this is the reason. كروما كليك 1 كليك وبيكون خلصت انت من كل الايفكت تبعك وخلصت من الجرين سكرين تبعك. روتوسكوبينج you have to do it by frame. راح فرجيك البروجكت اللي مضطرين كنا عليه على الروتوسكوبينج لانه الرشز اللي استعملناهم كانوا extremely old based من الخمسينات. We inserted عالم من جديدة into old video clips. راح فرجيك وين عزنا الفيديو كليبس. This is what I mean. هون بهاي الشوت فوتناها هي جرين سكرين مصورة. هون عملنا روتوسكوبينج لإله. We had to rotoscope him because we don't have. But this shot, okay, took around 5 days to actually rotoscope him out of the environment اللي هو فيه. Do you understand the difference? Yeah. It took 5 days for something on green screen. يعني هو أخذ 5 days وهي أخذت 1 click. That's the difference between green screen. Sorry? لأنه it's 1 frame. هيدا اللي كنت عم بحكيكم عنه المرة الماضية اللي عم بحكيكم عنه لهيدا الشو اللي فوتنا الأراضي بقلب بعض فوتنا العالم بقلب بعضهم. And this, the green is always the same but the light اللي محطوط عليها on set is different, is equal to the light of the original cast اللي هو بهيدا الشوت. 1 second. لاحظتوا هي؟ It's exactly the same. The light hits her in the same way. So we follow the original footage to be able to light our scene because we have, before we shoot, we don't shoot on green screen then see what we're gonna put in the background. The other way around. We plan the whole shoot and then we go knowing how to light the actual character that we have. I'll show you something else. And this is what I mean by the color. We will do the coloring to be able to match the environment with, to match something with something. You can see it, yeah? You can see the difference in lighting. And this is where we need the rotoscoping. Look at this. In front of her face, we needed to put back the line, the original line. So we rotoscoped frame by frame the actual. This we cannot do it neither on Mokka. This has to be done by human, frame by frame, to actually see the pixels and see how to trace the actual line. Yes.
Here.
Very big project. One of the biggest in the Middle East. We did 24 video clips, each one 3 minutes, and 24 concerts. The concerts we put the people that were dead on stage, on our stage. Like hologram, which is one of the subjects that you can choose.
حلو. دي بتشتغل
هذا
ايه؟
في كان شو هذا في كان شو كان
سوري ما سمعتك ما سمعتك حسن.
هذا الشيء كان بروجرام عرض على التي في صح؟
100% اسمه بحلم بيك.
صح.
Yes. أخذ 1.5 years of work before the shoots. This is rotoscoping. Look at this shot. حطيناه هو, then we rotoscoped her to come over him. And here you need to do the rotoscoping. And yes, we will go into rotoscoping. Yes, hell yes. But we're not gonna go into. All you need to do is understand the concept of rotoscoping, not actually become rotoscopers. Because there are people that their business is to be rotoscopers. You know what I mean? Like there are people who that does tracking. There are people that do rotoscoping all their life. This is what they like to do. This is what they do. Okay, so I don't want you to do that, because unless this is the field you want to get into, then but at least you understand how it's done, what's the easy way of doing it, not just stick to the hard way, if that makes sense. Because you will still find right now in post-production houses today, people still doing the rotoscoping, I mean like the laptop, doing it by hand, or frame by frame, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous to do. Even professionally, there are people that are still doing that today, which is not right. So whenever you have a project and you know that this is a shot of a laptop or something easy to do it on a Mocha or somewhere else, you know that actually there is an easier way, and you can guide them and tell them, no, you cannot tell me that the rotoscoping will take 3 days and charge me $3,000 for it. No, I'm sorry. The rotoscoping for this shot will take 10 minutes and I can do it myself.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is it. Hope it wasn't overcharged. For the people who know After Effects, I think they got a little bit of more information that they knew, I'm sure. For the people who don't know After Effects, I hope it wasn't too much, and I hope you get the chance to watch it again. I'll upload it on YouTube and send a link for that you don't download 3 hours and right now 2 minutes of video. So I'll upload it somewhere on our channel, and I'll send private link to you guys by mail. No one else will be able to watch it, because it's not watchable, I think. And that's it. All good?
All good.
Too long today?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care. I'll send you first of all the shot that you need to work on, and I'll make sure I'll upload it. And I'll see you next week. If you need anything, drop me an email. And that's it.
Okay.
Thank you and good luck in Egypt.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.